Welcome to the Button List podcast, coming at you live from Beading Dreams in Dallas, Texas, featuring Allison
and Heather. During this broadcast, we will delve into the stories of famous gemstones, past and present, looking to amuse, delight, and possibly disturb you.
We record live weekly, and we invite you to join in the online conversation every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube.
Just a warning, sometimes we get a little spicy.
Please be aware that the following broadcast may contain mature content.
Thank you for supporting small businesses.
And we hope you enjoy our show.
Extra special for you tonight. We have a surprise special guest. Let me reveal to you all our surprise special guest, who is What the Frank. What the Frank! Yay!
It's me, Carol.
So we have What the Frank as our special guest tonight. So Frank is going to help us with our podcast on acrostic gemstones, or acrostic jewelry, not gemstones.
And
That's
Frank will
different.
be representing the members of the audience, so if you have questions, Frank will share them.
Only the good ones.
He's our audience advocate, and
Yes.
also our audience moderator, filter, judge,
Oh my.
judgy person.
The pressure.
The pressure.
You look very pressured.
Yes.
I do look very pressured. I just went to the bathroom too.
It's a good thing you're on the
Well, I mean, you know, if the pressure gets too much, it's just over there, because So yeah, all right. So acrostic jewelry. Oh yeah, put it on the Frank side.
Be close to me.
who wouldn't want that?
It's true.
Is this
Okay.
better, everyone?
Okay, so I'm black and you're blue,
Yes.
and Frank is any color.
Yay!
Frank is
okay.
all the colors.
That's better. Yay.
Frank's all the colors. Yay!
I am. Is that a queer joke?
No, it's just
It is now.
It is now. Jeez.
I mean, you made it a queer joke. Like, I was not intending that, but
Only a few days after Pride. Thanks, Allison.
I mean, come on. Hi, Miss Happy Geek. Hey, I've got my Bye Pride patch
you
right
do.
there.
You do.
So, okay. So we are talking tonight about acrostic jewelry. So, hey, Heather,
Yes, Allison.
did you know that I amethyst, diamond, opal, ruby, emerald you?
I did know that. And you were absolutely my diamond, emerald, amethyst, ruby, emerald, sapphire, topaz.
So, what the fuck did we just say?
Yeah.
Things. A lot of things.
Lots of words.
Lots of words. Okay, so acrostic jewelry is a jewelry fad that started actually slightly before Victorian times, in the Georgian / Regency era, but acrostic jewelry is jewelry where the first letter of each gemstone spells a word. So what I said to Heather, the translation is, Heather, did you know that I adore you?
And I said I did, and you are absolutely my dearest.
So aren't we schmoopy?
Definitely.
But so Victorian society was rife with hidden messages. So you could have hidden messages in your flowers. You could have hidden messages in the way you held your fan. Even postage stamps. Like the way, like if the postage stamp was positioned at a certain angle, it meant a thing. Like these people were super repressed and therefore looking for any outlet to say what they actually meant. So there was
Also not busy.
Yeah.
They had
also
time
not
today.
busy. Yes.
If my postage stamp is skewed one direction, it's because I was drunk. So, doesn't mean I love you. It's just because I've had one too many margaritas.
Oh my God, I'm so sad now, Frank. I'm disappointed.
That's why I came here in person.
Because
so
that postcard that
Right.
you sent me, and now I'm destroyed.
Well, it's because it was from Mexico, so that's
Well, tequila.
Tequila.
Yes. So fans, flowers, postage stamps, everything was used to convey and nuanced. Like the flowers especially were so nuanced. Like it wasn't just like red rose, I love you. Yellow rose, I love your sister. Like, it was all like there were literal like sentences written with flowers. Like it was
Carnations too mean something, yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to pansies in
More
a
than they did
couple of minutes.
in middle school when they sold them for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So acrostic jewelry where the beginning letter of each gemstone spells out a word, was one of, in my opinion, the most interesting varieties of Victorian hidden messages. And it was also sometimes combined with other ways of hiding messages in Victorian times. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. So, Heather, what were some of the most common Victorian acrostic jewelry, groups?
So some of the most common words that you would see were dearest, diamond, emerald, amethyst, ruby, emerald, sapphire, topaz. Regards was very common with ruby, emerald, garnet, amethyst, ruby, diamond, sapphire. And adore, amethyst, diamond, opal, ruby, emerald. And you'll notice a pattern that none of these words have difficult stone letters.
We'll get to that in a little bit as well. Though I do think that we three here should develop our own code where we just only speak in gemstone names.
I agree.
Yes.
It is a very expensive text.
Yes, it's a very expensive text message. So
it harkens back to when we had to pay by the word.
Yes, I do remember that.
In the olden days.
In the olden days.
It's giving 10 cents a message is what it is.
So the jeweler who is credited with actually beginning the acrostic jewelry trend back in the day was Jean-Baptiste Millerio of the House of Millerio in France. And that was around 1765. And so it's commonly thought that the very first acrostic piece of jewelry was one that Jean-Baptiste designed himself. And it actually read J'adore. So jade, amethyst, diamond, opal, ruby, emerald. There is, interesting fact, no gemstone that signifies apostrophe.
Well, that's probably...
Which is problematic if you're writing in French.
It is.
Although
I bet if I looked it up with the AI, I could find one.
Yeah, well.
It's just a little lava rock. It's really what it is.
And another common French one was souvenir, which means memory or to remember. Napoleon Bonaparte was a huge admirer of Millerio and actually bought several acrostic jewels that were commissioned by him for Empress Josephine and also his second wife, Empress Marie-Louise.
So acrostic jewelry also occasionally...
Appetite for apostrophe.
Yeah. I like that.
I love it. No heart emoji. Sorry, Corvus.
Could be in the shape of a heart.
Yeah.
Because you can cut jewels into all kinds.
You can. It's true.
So acrostic jewelry also occasionally cross-pollinated with other Victorian sentimental traditions and hidden messages. Acrostic
so many hidden messages.
Jewelry could be set in the form of a pansy. That meant think of me.
So if you have your pansies, so if you've got your yellow roses, which mean I'm sleeping with your sister, and your pansies, it means think of me while I'm sleeping with your sister.
Yes, that one's a toughie to receive. That's going to ruin your day.
Right?
Or you could get it in a locket containing a lock of hair of one's beloved. We have Victorian hair jewelry, which will be another podcast.
Terrifying.
Yes. Oh, hi, Rune. Hi, Rune.
We are on. We got on late, and we have special guests. We have What the Frank.
Yes.
On the Heather side of the stream. So, yes, we we booted the tutorial in favor of doing the podcast early.
No, you did not miss it, and it's a perfect night for wine.
Yes, it's true.
This doesn't say Eve, right? It actually says I.
What?
Or it's supposed to say I, right? The lover's Eve is supposed to say I.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is very close to the phonetic alphabet, which I know of also. So please do not mix up Bravo with another word.
Bravo and barrel are not the same.
Or do. I mean, switch it up.
Right. So the lover's eye was another Victorian secret message that could contain the acrostic jewelry theme as well.
So let's take a minute and be jewelers who have decided that this acrostic thing is cool. Because we picked something like J'adore, which we had all the stones readily available. Again, jade, amethyst, diamond, opal, ruby, emerald.
I do have all those lying around.
Like, I mean, don't we all?
Yes.
Don't you, Frank?
No.
Well, that's why you're here, obviously.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's why I came to Beading Dreams on Lover's Lane in Dallas, Texas.
So
you could lie in the beads.
okay, so you create this cool, and I will say, as jewelers, I know that this has happened to both Heather and myself. You create this cool concept using what you have available,
Mm-hmm.
and then people start asking for things like, "Hey, you have this beautiful ring. It spells J'adore. I want to get a ring for my beloved. Can it spell Zenobia?"
Yeah.
And you're like, well, hold on. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Yes.
No, I do not get paid by the plug. But you can please refer to Allison Geeson at Beading Dreams on Lover's Lane in Dallas, Texas.
So all of a sudden,
Yeah,
people
Corvus,
are,
a ring of your name is definitely out.
yeah. So then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay. So let's go ahead and each take about
go
4 letters.
back and forth?
Yeah, back and forth. So, and actually there was, Frank, what was your question about the alphabet?
Yeah, so when you have so many letters, like you had some that had like 7 letters in it, is there one that's of importance? Is there one that you feature a little bit more? If you really adore somebody, do you put more diamonds? Do you put less diamonds? How is the dispersion of the gemstones?
Is it capitalized?
Yeah, is it capitalized?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So my personal feeling, and I was not obviously alive at that time, but my personal
I'm shook.
Are you?
I am shook.
How old do I look?
No, I'm saying that because you are so beautiful and immortal looking.
Oh
Yes.
God, yes. Somebody just really, really jumped in it to keep from getting kicked out of my shop.
I don't get paid by the plug, but I will keep my ass kicked on this YouTube channel. This was my only appearance on the beach.
Okay, so
Brief but sweet.
So
Bittersweet.
so my and Heather, you're welcome to weigh in on this as well. So my thought is twofold. Number one, it's gonna depend on what the jeweler has available, and we're gonna go through that list in a minute. And then number two, if you are trying to impress the SHIT, if you're trying to impress the sapphire, howlite, iolite, tourmaline out of your love interest, that you will definitely get the biggest diamonds possible.
Yes.
That's my thought.
Also, if you want to impress the SHIT out of Allison, don't put howlite. Find another H.
Right? I didn't even look at the hematite howlite. That's all I got for H. Heliodor, much better.
Definitely put
Don't
Heliodor.
don't do howlite. Heliodor, much better. Okay, so we're just gonna real quick.
If we go back and forth and you start with A, then you get Y.
I want
Y.
W. No, I do want Y. Okay,
You
it's
also
true.
get W.
I get the best one.
Yeah, well, your podcast.
Okay, so I'm starting with
I'm just happy to be involved.
Okay, so all right, so we're gonna start with. So
We're
this
here
is
on
my.
sufferance.
Okay, so if you, we're getting there.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
get
well,
there.
yeah.
Don't worry. So okay, so there are a ton of acrostic alphabets out there. This one is my favorite, and you will discover why when we get to the end of the alphabet. So, acrostic stones: A, alexandrite, amethyst, andalusite, apatite, aquamarine. A very versatile letter. A letter, a very versatile letter.
B, a letter with not as many stones.
But two, even though one of them I've never heard of.
Yeah, B is beryl and benitoite.
What the heck is benitoite?
I'm going with beryl.
Is there?
I know what that is.
Is there a librarian on the stream? I don't think there is, but if anyone wants to Google that,
Yeah, please do.
I think beryl's good. C, carnelian, chalcedony, chrysoberyl, citrine.
D, diamond, and as though you need any substitute for that, diopside.
E, emerald.
Dendritic opal.
Mm.
Speaking of the librarian.
E, emerald.
And okay, fun fact about emerald. So when the whole AI thing, when we have an event coming up this weekend where we're going to feature acrostic jewelry, and we were Googling to see if there were any other stones we were forgetting for E other than emerald and eudialyte. And and AI was like, yes, alexandrite and andalusite. Like,
No.
I mean, they have E in them.
Fun fact.
Oh. Originally mistaken for sapphire. So we're probably not going to use that one.
Probably not. But yes, peniotite is a rare mineral that was discovered in 1907 in San Benito County, hence the name, in California.
Yes.
California for the win. Yeah. All right, where were we?
F is for feldspar or fluorite. So feldspar is a nice one because it includes a whole lot of different stones.
Mm-hmm. G for garnet. So anybody with the G in their acrostic thing is getting some vroom, vroom, vroom.
Woo!
H is just sad. G is forget it. But H is for what?
Hematite and howlite. Or Heliodor. They just didn't list
Heliodor. They didn't list Heliodor is the best one. It's the prettiest girl at the party.
It is the prettiest girl at that party.
I is for Idocrase, another one you don't see very much, and Iolite, which you do see a lot.
And which our stream particularly enjoys.
Mm-hmm.
J is for jadeite or jasper.
K for kunzite and kyanite.
L for labradorite, lapis lazuli, and lithocoatite.
What is lithocoatite?
The hesitation before you said that last one is why I'm sitting next to you
like, what
right
the heck?
now.
What?
This is the best part. Because I can't even spell any of these. And I was like, please don't make me say any of these.
So okay, and this is an
Kind of let it
interesting.
go. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this is an interesting. So this is obviously a modern list, and we're gonna get to
Not the M one.
a little bit why that is painfully obvious in a bit. But so malachite, moonstone, and mossitsit, which is a weird, like greeny feldspar-y thing that was just dug up like 15 years ago.
It's very cool.
So there was
and
no
you can now spell things with it.
there was no mossitsit in Victorian time.
I mean, it was there. We just didn't. It was
there,
very...
but you know, nobody knew about it.
N is just for nephrite. Surely there's something else.
So I have seen other lists that list N as nacre, aka pearl. And again, this is we're starting to get into the gymnastic backflips of this. Let's try and make each letter have a gemstone, because it only gets more interesting from here. O is pretty easy. Onyx, opal. Opal was generally the preferred one in Victorian times because it's shiny and colorful instead of black and dire like a funeral.
P is for peridot or pearl, if you're not spelling pearl with nacre instead.
Exactly. Q is for quartz. That gives you a whole lot of options because there are a lot of quartzes out there.
R is for ruby or rhodochrosite or rhodolite or rhodonite or rhyolite. Don't put rhyolite or howlite in Allison's jewelry, though.
Do not.
Why is that?
Because those are two of the gemstones that I actually dislike.
Okay.
It's a short list.
It's a short list.
Is it because of a color issue or you just don't like it?
It's because of the fact that they look like chewed up gum in various different states.
Okay.
Let's see.
We sell a lot of howlite.
It's a real reason to not like something.
You should hear Allison trying to sell.
Okay, come on. I'm a decent enough salesperson that I can say mostly not bad things.
Sometimes.
Oh,
depends on how tired you are.
Depends on what you want to sell.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
I mean, sometimes she'll pull something out. She's like, I don't hate this rhyolite.
Well, why don't you look at these emeralds instead? Yeah. So where are we? S, sapphire, sapphire, spinel, and sphene. Which sphene is actually a gorgeous stone.
So pretty.
You do not often see sphene made into beads. It's more often cut gemstones. My mother has a ring with a sphene that's surrounded in diamonds and white gold, and I covet that ring so much. It's so pretty.
What color is that for the people that don't?
Chartreuse.
Okay.
Naturally a vibrant chartreuse.
We actually do have some sphene beads.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the sphene beads are never as pretty as the sphene cut gems.
No, because it's not a very common stone.
Because
so
the cut gems are
yoink
just
the
like
best ones for cut stones.
Yeah, the cut stones of sphene are just like the I'm gonna sear your eyes out chartreuse color, which for some reason I find attractive.
This is pretty.
All right, T, you get a lot of them.
Tanzanite, topaz, tourmaline, tsavorite, turquoise.
A lot of T's.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where it starts getting esoteric.
Yes, it does.
So,
it goes downhill from here.
Yeah, uvarovite and unakite. Unakite is pretty common. Uvarovite. I do not know upon which syllable to place the emphasis.
Hi, Denise.
Yeah, so
I'd say uvarovite, but
okay.
What do I know?
I've never seen that in bead form.
No.
So
I've never seen it spelled out. So
right?
It's brand new.
Okay, so yeah, U is where we start getting weird. Now we get a V.
V is for veracite. I would also add Vesuvianite in there.
Yes, and veracite is, I think, almost exclusively from Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Vesuvianite is a type of olivine, so it's related to peridot.
Why is it only in Utah?
I don't know.
Just rare.
Ask the Earth's crust.
Got it.
Yes.
I'll just ask
Or
the
possibly the Angel Moroni.
The what?
The Angel Moroni. Yeah, he said he'd just ask a more.
Yeah.
So get Allison's hat. See if that. Never mind. That was a really. Speaking of esoteric, that was kind of.
That was right here, Heather.
I take it back. Go on.
Okay,
W.
wait. Okay, W is wolfenite. Again, something I've never seen in bead form ever, or possibly even in specimen form.
I feel like they might have a specimen of it. The Perot.
Okay, so if you go to the Natural History Museum, you might be able to see some wolfenite.
Just
And then if you want to commit a felony, you could steal it and put it in your acrostic jewelry piece.
Yes.
But Heather, tell us about X.
I get to say all of these.
Yes.
Zolostosite, xanthite, xylopal.
What are all of those?
Very obscure materials that you're not gonna see. So just If you are dating someone whose name is Xerxes, break up with him.
Or Xavier.
Or Xavier.
Roxanne, Max.
Roxanne. If it's Roxanne, then just do initials or just the one.
Roxy,
Yeah.
R is good.
Yeah.
You've got good options for R.
Yes. And yes, I might be Corvus speaking tongues. Yes.
Okay, so Y, and this is how I know that this is a modern list. So Y is listed as YAG, which is a synthetic stone. It's yttrium, aluminum, garnet, and it was first synthesized in like the 50s or 60s. So there was no YAG around in Victorian times. So again, maybe just don't fall in love with anybody who has the letter Y in their name, which unfortunately, kicks me out of the romance pool, but,
Well, they don't have to spell your name out.
Yeah.
They could just give you Alexandrite and be good.
Okay, and now we're on to Z.
So Z's are fine because you've got zircon, zoisite. Those are beautiful, and we have them in the store right now. So they're not that rare. I mean, they're not, on every street corner, but you're not going to run into wolfenite. You're definitely going to run into one of those.
Yeah, so here's hoping your beloved's name is not Xavier, Roxanne, Xerxes, Yolanda, or
Not Yolanda.
Poor Yolanda.
Not poor Yolanda. She's Selena. Not poor Yolanda.
Not that Yolanda. She doesn't get any.
No, she doesn't get any. You know what she gets? Wolfenite. That's what she gets.
It's spelled with a silent W.
Oh my god.
What color is zircon and?
So zircon actually comes in a lot of different colors, including absolutely fiery orange, naturally, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Zoisite is like garnet in that there are multiple zoisites. So the most common that you're going to see will be ruby zoisite, which is green with red inclusions.
Oh, pretty.
Ruby inclusions, or tanzanite is also a zoisite. So you've got options.
Oh.
Yes.
Again, just don't fall in love with Xavier or Yolanda.
No.
Or
So the idea of conveying secret messages is pretty much
pretty much.
Let's try that again, shall we? The idea of conveying secret messages is pretty much timeless, just as most of the.
I'm sorry.
Tell her she's gonna have to spell it IOL. Irlanda.
She is a lovely woman, I'm sure.
She doesn't deserve it.
Wow. She's airing people's dirty secrets.
Goodness.
I'm here for it.
Wow.
I knew I liked you, Corbin.
All right. So much like secret passageways, most of us nerdy folks on the stream right now, and I'm pretty much only referring to myself and Heather and Frank, just nerd by association.
Yeah, nerd by
because he's within the nerd bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Like secret passages.
We're a Venn diagram. You overlap decidedly, but not entirely.
Definitely are. So like secret passages and Morse code and things like that. Conveying secret messages is pretty much timeless for our particular slice of the Venn diagram, and so Acrostic Joy is actually experiencing a resurgence.
You can find it on TikTok.
You can find it on TikTok. But this is my favorite. It's like a $500 ring. So somebody translate for me. Peridot, iolite, zircon, amethyst.
Pizza.
Yes.
Yes.
Or fluorite, unikite, citrine, kyanite.
We can't say that. There are children.
It's not after 7:30 yet, so we can't say that. But
we did warn everybody that it would be spicy.
We did.
Yes,
we get
pizza
spicy.
and fudge.
Pizza
exactly.
and fudge. Exactly.
So basically, if you can find the stones, you can say nasty things to your mother-in-law or your future in-laws or anyone you want, without fear of reprisal, unless they also know the secret code of acrostic jewelry, which is pretty cool sometimes. Just being able to wear the fuck you, yes, it's 728, on your neck.
Allison doesn't care about children.
She's also the owner. Like, let her do what she wants.
She does.
She
You
deserves
know, but sometimes being able to walk into the dinner party wearing the fuck you on your neck
it. Mhm.
and nobody but you knows what it says is still
This is why I like my more sewed pieces.
still worth it. So, what else? Frank, what other questions do you
Yes.
have?
I'm laughing at Corvus's comment.
WTF,
Yes.
I love
WTF.
it.
And I
Yes.
think watermelon tourmaline is an excellent substitute for wolf.
Wolf Night.
Thank
Yes.
you, Corvus, for that suggestion.
Thank you for that suggestion.
So- Should I do future?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this has spawned. Sorry, I know you were about to start talking.
Go ahead.
This has spawned a lot of ideas for future podcasts, which Heather is going to enumerate for you.
So, including but not limited to memento mori jewelry, which is jewelry in memory of a loved one, specifically, often including parts of them, essentially. So, concealed spaces like poison rings or mezuzah pendants, prayer boxes, other things like that. Lockets, and mourning jewelry and mourning tradition in general, because that's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
So those are some things that are coming up that were inspired by tonight's subject. Thank you, Allison.
And also, one that I did not put on there was I also found a lovely article about how to get out of a proposal in Victorian times.
Oh, I like
which
that.
is very interesting and involves about as many gymnastics as you would expect from a contortion artist in the circus.
Got it.
I just usually watch the hit film Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts.
Yes. You give them an ugly rock back.
Yes.
I mean, if they give you an ugly rock, then they're done for anyway.
Yeah.
No, apparently you need to write a letter and like it needs to say
Well, don't spoil
certain
the whole
things.
Yeah,
process.
just
And but you get to keep the rock.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well then
Yeah,
do it.
you have to write the letter, but you get to keep the rock.
That's exciting.
So, you know. So yes,
Mhm.
all things we shall explore on future podcasts. So before we go outro, let's everyone give a huge thanks to What the Frank for being with us today.
Yay! I thank myself.
What a lovely surprise.
You should absolutely thank yourself.
I should.
It's
Yes.
been a really fun evening. So Heather's boho tutorial is going to get pushed to next week under a slightly different title, but it's going to be the same
Yeah,
thing.
I think I have been the first guest.
You are the first. Yeah,
The very first
the
one.
very first one. So amazing. Okay. So I think that's it for the button list podcast this evening with Allison
I exist. Are you heavering to me? Yes, yes.
This shall conclude.
Spell it out with Jules.
Oh God, no! I do not have that many brains left. All right, this shall conclude this. Okay, this is going to be funny. This shall conclude this evening's edition of the Button List podcast with Allison and
Heather.
Heliodor, Emerald, Amethyst, Tanzanite, Heliodor, Emerald, Ruby,
No how light to be seen.
and crap, what's F?
Fluorite, feldspar.
Thank you. Fluorite, Ruby, Amethyst,
Nephrite.
Nephrite,
Kyanite.
Kyanite, and me, Allison, of course. And yes.
We can't spell.
Well, no, I can spell just fine, but trying to spell and translate, no, that's 2 words, is that's tough. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Corvus will edit this podcast and will release it in due time. You can listen to the Buttonless podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube. You can, of course, watch and interact with us live on the podcast every other Wednesday at about 7:45 or 8 p.m. So don't forget that is your opportunity to join in the online conversation. And if you want updates as to when we're doing podcasts, Zooms, tutorials, etc., don't forget to join our Discord, and you can hit !Discord in the Twitch chat. That'll give you that invite link. So this is going to be our good night from Allison, Heather, and Frank. So thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of The Button List with Allison, Frank,
and Heather.
Yay!
You can catch the Button List weekly on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube.
You can watch our complimentary live tutorials every Wednesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and twitch.tv/BeadingDream.
Good night, everyone.
Yay! Thank you, everyone, so much. Have a good night, and we'll catch you
tomorrow.
But no Frank tomorrow.
No, not me.
Is be sad, but no Frank tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
And all right. Bye, everyone.